And action. Okay, sorry, just kidding. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, October 16th Board of Public Works and Safety. We are filming live and streaming that on our City of Madison YouTube channel and also archiving it so you can view it later. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please.
Mayor Courtney,
Here.
Mr. Carlo,
Here.
and Mr. Eaglin.
Board, if you had an opportunity to review the minutes from October 2nd, so we will approve the minutes.
I reviewed the minutes and this seems to be in order. I approve make a motion to approve the minutes as published.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right. Any adjustments? None. And moving on to new business. I'm sorry, let's do the claims now.
Mayor had an opportunity to review the claims. This period, we had claims in the amount of $2,499,530.50, consisting of 24 pages. With that, I'll make a motion that the claims be approved as submitted.
I'll second David's motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Now moving on to new business. Brian Jackson, our utility superintendent, to talk about the water project. Morning, Brian.
Morning. We'll start with the disbursement requests from the SRF. You got your overview sheet there and you've got all the invoices. The first one is a revision to SRF request number 39. It had to be revised downward because they had some materials and labor in there that couldn't be included in that request. I put a note in there what the original was, but the revised one, it's a total amount of $423,195. Of that, $21,160 is going to retainage, and the amount of the SRF disbursement then will be $402,035.
Okay.
And since I had to revise 39, you've approved 40 already. The amount's not changing there, but my totals on the submittal sheets will change. So I have to resubmit that to the SRF, but nothing's really changing on it.
Okay.
But now with SRF request number 41, that is a new one for Commonwealth Engineers. It's 3 invoices totaling $59,386.62. The amount of the SRF distribution request will be $59,387. And then we have SRF request number 42 for Dave O'Mara Contracting for work at the water treatment plants. The total amount of that invoice is $45,709. And of that, the retainage amount is $2,285, and the amount of the SRF disbursement is $43,424.
Brian, if you would, just take a minute here just to refresh the board, the 3 divisions, and then kind of where we're at in each of those stages, because again, what I just want to point out here is that, you know, Division C, there's been a lot of work undertaken on it over the course of the past year, but there's 3 divisions.
Right. Do you want to approve these first and then me give an overview of everything, or it's up to you?
Just go ahead and give the overview now, if you don't mind.
Okay. The Division A update, as you said, there's 3 divisions. Division A deals with the upgrading of the water treatment plants. The work's continuing at the west end and the JPG plant. Currently at the west end, they're replacing the piping in the ground, and at JPG, they're redoing the plumbing in our chlorine room. And there's some electrical work going on at both locations. Division B update is the water tower work. Currently, they are attempting to work on the north water tower, but we're having some high pressure issues, which are causing some breakages throughout the northern part of the city on Ingles Drive and on Wilson Avenue and over on Pinehurst. But we're going to shift that work to another tower until we can address that today. We have a construction meeting today. We're going to try to figure out why we're having these, because our south tank and our north tank are identical, so it makes no sense that we'd have pressure issues when we took one off the line. We didn't have any, now we're taking the other off the line.
Is that what caused the water outage over the weekend? I'm sorry, on the other side of Lanier Drive?
On Pinehurst, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was
and
Saturday,
it was, yeah, we actually had one on Pinehurst, we had two on Wilson, we had another one later on Wilson that day, so we actually had three on Saturday.
Just overpressure.
Yes, that's, and we're trying to analyze that, and the engineers and us are going to be talking about that today, because right now it's kind of a mystery. Why you would have a pressure problem, that's what I was saying. The north and south towers are both identical. We took the south tower off, we didn't have any problems. We took the north tower off, and we started having pressure problems throughout the northern part where
Do you know the difference on head pressure, how much it was?
no, I do not. Enough to bust some lines.
Bust the line.
Yeah, that's, no, I don't have numbers.
Okay, thank you.
But, and we're still waiting on a cost estimate. We've got to fix the 1-million-gallon tanks, and there's some stuff we can do there while we had to put that back in service, the north tower, so it would take the pressure back off the lines. Division C, got some information here on it. The water main, that's the water main and service installations division. The paving in Franks Drive is going to be commencing here in the coming weeks. They've finished, they've milled the roads for the asphalt on Franks Drive. They've done the Franks Drive cut and caps on the lines, and they've put in a new water line tap for Culvers. The service line ground restoration has been finished at Franks. At Sunrise, they have done this grading and, the grading and strawing. The driveways still yet need to be replaced. That should be in the coming weeks also. I don't have an exact date on that yet, though. And then the upcoming work, we still have to do some work along Flint Street and then across the golf course. That's about it.
Yep. Most of the visible work in this $13 million water improvement project is being seen and felt in Division C, which is the
Correct.
water mains and the service connection lines. But the other two are extremely important too. That's the plant and the tanks.
Right, the three plants,
Which needed
yes.
improvements and rehab. So you'll hear more about those other two as we're winding down on Division C. There'll be more occurring on A and B. So we have a request to approve disbursements 39 through 42.
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve the disbursements or request 39 through 42.
I'll second Carl's motion. Any discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Okay, next up will be a contract with Dynamic Displays for the Christmas Festival. We'll move on, come back to that. Street closure, Joe will do resolution 44B.
First one is resolution number 44B-2023, resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana regarding closing a certain portion of Mill Street for the annual block party. Whereas there's been a request filed by Rusty Bladen for a street closing in conjunction with the block party that the neighbors living on or around Mill and 2nd Street to be held on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that Mill Street between 1st Street and 2nd Street shall be closed on Sunday, October 22nd, 2023, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that said street as closed shall be under supervision and control of Rusty Bladen at the times noted above for the year 2023.
Rusty wasn't able to make the meeting today. I'll just mention that this is the same footprint as in prior years. I think this is the 10th year. So I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 44B 2023.
I'll second your motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay.
The next one is Resolution 45B-2023, a resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, regarding closing of a certain portion of Vine Street for Get Out the Vote block party. Whereas there's been a request filed by Kara Fox on behalf of Little Golden Fox for a street closing in conjunction with the Get Out the Vote block party to be held on Friday, October 27th, 2023. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that Mine Street from Main Street to the south side, to the north side of the alley running east and west between Mill Street and Elm Street shall be closed on October 27th, 2023, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that said street as closed shall be under supervision and control of the Little Golden Fox at the times noted above for the year 2023.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello. I think Joe pretty much summed it all up. We want to invite all of the community to come out and celebrate. It does start at 6 o'clock, and everyone's welcome.
Is this time frame sufficient, 3 to 10, for any kind of
It should be.
set up or tear down?
Yeah, should be more than plenty.
Okay. What will be available that day for
Well,
the community?
we're gonna have some local treats for everyone. There will be a art project that everyone can contribute to. We'll just be Rusty Bladen's gonna be there playing as well. So we'll be celebrating the fact that election is here.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I make a motion, we approve resolution number 45B-2023.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Any comments or questions? Discussion? Hearing none. I'll recuse myself from voting on this because I will be attending that. I'll let you two vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Kara. Appreciate it.
The last resolution on the agenda today is resolution number 46B-2023. A resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana regarding a parking space closing for the Friends of the Ohio Theater, Inc. Whereas there's been a request filed by Elizabeth Auction on behalf of Friends of the Ohio Theater, Inc. for closing for 3 parking spaces located directly in front of 105, 107, and 109 East Main Street for the organization's Horror on the Ohio Film Festival to be held October 20th, 21st, and 21st. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that 3 parking spaces located directly in front of 105, 107, and 109 East Main Street shall be closed from Friday, October 20th, 2023 at 8 a.m. through Saturday, October 21st, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. Be it further resolved by the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Madison, Indiana, that said parking spaces shall be closed under supervision and control of the Friends of the Ohio Theater at the times noted above.
We're
Good
just having
morning.
food trucks, so
Aye.
we're just gonna have troublemakers, and the Shepherd guys are gonna be parked out there, so that's all we need.
This is part of the films going on
Yeah,
inside there.
yes.
And I think Tammy or Gina may have asked you about this, but the other business owners there, because you're kind of going to the Ohio Theater and East.
Right, so
What-
the building next to us is blocked, and then we have talked to the other people, so we should be good.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody's copacetic.
Yeah,
It's
we
going to
all
be a
get
great
along.
thing for everyone to enjoy, but we all want to
Yes.
be a big, happy
Correct.
family and enjoy the film and
Yeah.
the film festival and the food that's out there.
Right.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 46B-2023.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The only thing I would be opposed to is these guys' costumes that they'll probably wear
We can provide
at
costumes if you need
at
us
the
to.
film festival, because they're kind of scary already.
It's getting spooky in there. The guys have been doing a really great job decorating. Like, it startles me with all the mannequins everywhere. So,
Oh, it's awesome. Well, we're
thank you.
transitioning from soupy to spooky.
Yeah.
Which is a great time of year
then
for
Christmas will
Madison.
be here before we know it.
What,
So.
Joe, that was funny.
He's like, no
Yes,
comment.
then we're going to Christmas.
I'm gonna dress up like the mayor.
Oh,
I'll be
that will scare people. That will definitely scare people.
I'll be the.
Well, thank you for your support.
Hey, thanks, Elizabeth. Let
Thank
me
you.
know if we do anything.
Thank you.
All right.
Good luck.
See ya. I'll handle the next item, which is the 2024 agreement between the City of Madison and the Salvation Army for the winter contingency/emergency shelter plan. This will be, I think, the 4th year that we've entered into a formal MOU after maybe the third year of the formal MOU. The first year was a little more informal because we had to deal with an unexpected closing of the winter warming shelter. Once we were able to codify what our understanding with each other, I think it's gone pretty well. And the only change to this agreement than last year's agreement really is the dates. And the Salvation Army does a fantastic job with their volunteers and their training to help provide a safe environment during frigid temperatures, which is why it's a winter warming shelter. And then the city of Madison just recently partnered with the North Madison Christian Church to make an investment in the facility there for laundry, bathrooms, and shower facility upgrades. But this would be the agreement that we would expect the Salvation Army's regional office to execute, and I would ask the board's permission to finalize the agreement and execute it on behalf of the city. The terms of which are the same as last year, and we can go over any of that. And Bob, happy to give you a copy of it as well for the paper, but it's the same, which is subject to the volunteers' support who have to go through a training. The shelter would be open if the temperatures are forecasted to reach 32 degrees or less during the evening, and they'll make that decision at 5 p.m. Shower and laundry facilities would be available upon the completion of the remodeling, which is done, and then last year we had very modest attendance or use, I should say, of the shelter, but it's available there if anybody needs it.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the 2024 winter warming shelter agreement with the Salvation Army.
I'll second David's motion.
Any questions, comments? Appreciate Salvation Army working with the city on this important need. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, yeah, we'll give one to Bob. We'll come back. Is there anybody here to discuss the contract with Dynamic Displays? Oh, there you are. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning.
All right. Just describe what we're looking at here for the benefit of our listeners and watchers and those in attendance.
The big inflatable balloons for the Christmas parade. There's,
Is the same, similar to last year's?
yeah,
And so this is a contract for $10,000 with Dynamic Displays. We've been very successful in the past to have some very generous support from our businesses and donors. And how is that going this year?
half of those are already sponsored already, so there's just 3 left that need sponsored.
So you're on track to have full sponsorship, you hope?
Yeah,
Our Christmas parade's been outstanding, and I want to thank all of everybody who participates in it, for one, you organizing it this year, and then also the businesses that are making it all possible. It's great time downtown.
I'll make a motion that we enter into the contract with the Dynamic Displays for the Christmas parade.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is this the same company that we've used in the past?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Moving on now, we'll invite Chief Washer here to talk about the fire department operating procedures.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
In your packet today, you will find a number of SOPs that have been resubmitted for your approval, review, I should say, then approval. These SOPs, as they are now, have been back and forth between the company and the committee a couple of times. I believe we have the wording correct now, and we have almost everybody on board with these.
I know that I also participated in a meeting with the SOP team and representatives from each company. You have around 13 SOPs. I might just read them. Administrative organization, firefighter qualifications, firefighter compensation, firefighter trainee, fire company reporting procedures, fire company administrative, mobile vehicle fire operations, hazardous materials response, natural gas response, annual training requirement, uniform training sign-in sheets, firefighter training trainee completion, and roll and rack sign-out sheet. So anything there that you want to specifically describe, we can go into Q&A. We've had this to review, and I know both of these gentlemen are part of a company that was involved in the review procedures. We all had representation on the SOP committee. I sat in on, I think the last, or a pretty recent SOP committee meeting on these.
Some of them are very simple, such as the roll and rack sign out sheet. That's just a sign out sheet. If you use the trailer and the hose rolling gear, that you actually sign it out. The other for the training sheet is simply stating that we want everybody to use the same sheet so that we're getting the same information from each company. So some of them are very simple. Some of them do get into a little more detail. Depends on what we're talking about. The compensation, we just clarified up a few areas there, and made that a little bit more black and white instead of gray.
Okay.
I know it's been a long time coming, you've done a lot of work on them, and, with that, I'll make a motion, we approve the SOPs submitted today. Do you need the numbering, or what's printed,
It's okay to go as presented?
as presented?
Okay.
I'll second Carl's motion.
Any discussion? Comments or
just-
questions? Yes.
I'd just like
Yes.
for you, Chief, to express my appreciation to the committee. I know this has been a long process to get to this point, and I know there's been a lot of time put into it, a lot of effort. I know sometimes trying to get everybody together to meet, to agree, it's a difficult process. But we got through it, and I've got a list here of future documents that they're going to be working on coming up. So looking forward to seeing that. And if you would, just tell the chairman and the committee that our appreciation for the work that they're doing.
I absolutely will do that, and I will say, one of the good things that come out of this is we have almost a full 100% participation in the committee now,
Good.
which is a lot better, a whole lot better.
Around 3 years ago, we did something very similar for the Madison Police Department SOPs. And it took about a year, and there was a lot of engagement and back and forth, but similar to this, and this was a year-long effort for you
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, a little over a year.
The important thing here for the community is that it's important that our policies and procedures be modernized for best practices. And we have one police department, but we have 6 fire companies. This exercise has been even more challenging because of the different companies who contract with the city, and then everybody coming together to have a role in how the City of Madison Volunteer Fire Department is going to operate with the highest standards and the most professional staffing and training. And that is the important thing here, is because this is a public safety effort to make sure that our community remains safe, both on police like we did 3 years ago, but on fire protection as well. So thank you for you all you volunteers, putting the time and effort to make sure Madison has an exceptional response on fire
I
and
will
safety.
absolutely pass that along.
I know all 6 companies are in agreement with the SOPs, should just make us better.
Exactly, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One thing that I think.
I think we had a motion and a second, and then we were in the discussion phase. We'll take a vote here in just a second.
It was important that the rank and file firefighters, company level, be able to review these for their input before we approve them, so that they know,
I
feeling.
wholeheartedly agree, and I think the committee members of those said companies now are in tune with that also.
And like I said, sometimes it's hard to get, a committee member may be missing a meeting or something, Communication sometimes is problematic, when, in that situation, but I think we got through the process. I think we're better for it, and we'll move on from here, so.
I believe so, yes.
Chief, today I'm wearing my pocket square that is, gives special recognition to our first responders,
Outstanding.
firefighters and EMS. And I knew we were discussing this today, and I wanted to honor you guys with unique wardrobe to a certain extent. Thank you for your service, and you guys too on our fire departments. With that said, any comments or questions? We're still in discussion period. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Chief, you can get a little rest now.
Well,
Just a little. Yes. All right, moving on now, we've been pacing ourselves through today's meeting.
waiting for the pace.
Nicole, why are you here?
Wonder why. I have several pace items
I love it.
for you to fly through. The first is a little unusual for us. We have an application for 108 East 3rd Street. We had a couple of application recipients come in under budget, so we found some money that we were able to fund one of the applications that received the minimum required scoring in the last application round, so we're presenting it today. William and Stacy Barnes owns this property. They're wanting to rehabilitate the garage at the rear of it, and their grant amount request is for $7,500.
They have really improved this property from what it was several years back, and just getting
It's
better
gonna
and
get better and better. Absolutely.
And
And that's a unique carriage house, so we have several of those in the alleys that are now, getting a new life.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant for 108 East 3rd Street.
I'll second Carl's motion. It's a good project.
Any discussion? Just want to thank them for making that investment. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. 1886 is the estimated date for that building? Wow, that's great. Okay. Now we have a midpoint.
Yes, I have 3 midpoints for you.
Do
The
this in a
first,
batch, okay?
yep, the first one is 523, 525 West Street. Marilyn Hance owns this property and is restoring it. They've completed over half of the grant application as requested, and are requesting the half disbursement of $12,500. And to date, they've done the tuck pointing, paint, and have started work on the interior.
I'll just make a note here. We talk a lot about the amount of investment that's made relative to the grant. This shows an estimated cost of about $79,000. It's gotta be way more than that. That was a two dilapidated buildings,
I
candidly.
believe that's just the portion that she's completed so far.
Okay. It's gonna be a major investment, and you'll see new paving, work happening soon on that whole corridor on West Street. It's gonna be great.
Second midpoint is another dilapidated structure, 912 West First Street. Trevor and Van Crafton are restoring this double-sided building. The next one is the other half. But they've completed over half of their PACE grant, including starting the siding. They've installed windows, doors, and have started the interior, and are asking for the disbursement of $12,500.
Yeah, so you've got another one, you have the other side on that?
Yep.
You really needed to see the befores here. It's already transforming, and they're only halfway done. That whole block is transforming to be almost all renovated through there. But the befores were, again, this shows an incredible transformation, and it looks like essentially 2 brand-new homes.
Yeah. Yep, so the other half, 914 West First Street, is also over halfway complete. You can see the siding there is a little further along, as well as the interior, and they're asking for the disbursement of $12,500 on this one as well.
Well, I want to thank them for that investment, all three of them. And I'll make a motion, we approve the midpoints for 523, 525, 912, and 914.
I'll second the mayor's motion.
Any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
And I have two finals for you. The first one is 510 West Main Street. Shirley Smalley completed the work on this property, which included foundation work, replacement of rotten wood around the rear porch, and then worked on all the exterior wood, including painting. So this is her before, just a selection of photos, and then after. And she's asking for the full disbursement of $7,500, and she's completed her grant according to her agreement.
What architectural style is that one?
It is an Italianate.
Italianate? It's beautiful.
And then the second final I have for you is 217, 219 East Main Street, 4H Acquisitions. Completed work on this property, including painting and repairs of all the windows and doors facing the alley and the rear of the building. And then they also worked on the foundation and fire escape.
I'll make a motion, we approve the PACE finals at 510 West Main, 217, 219 East Main.
And just for the record, this is also asking for $7,500.
I'll second that and thank all of them as well for this investment. I mean, these are in high visible locations. That's making again, contribution to our wonderful semifinalist, award-winning Main Street. Any discussion, comments, or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
And then I have one extension for you. Caitlin Beck with Swell Stay LLC is asking for a completion extension for 208 East Main Street. This is a dilapidated structure, which they received a grant of $25,000. However, they have not received any disbursement, and they're asking for an extension period of 4 months. That would put their new deadline as January 13th, 2024.
Nicole, is this the first extension for them?
Yes, it is.
This is going to be a motel or hotel?
I believe they're doing Airbnb rentals on the second and maybe third floor, and then they're doing some sort of commercial on the first floor, but I'm not sure they have a tenant selected.
Beautiful in restoration and major investment in a building that contributes to our historic fabric, but has been essentially neglected for about 20 years or more. Great to see that happening. Thank them as well. I'll move we approve the extension.
I'll second the
this.
motion.
Any discussion, comments, questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay.
That is all I had for PACE. I did just want to make a public announcement that we are taking applications for a final round for 2023. Those applications are limited to dilapidated structures or dangerous buildings grants, and the deadline is October 30th for their November meeting. So if anyone is interested in applying, just reach out to our office.
Was there any, I want to thank the redevelopment commission, first of all, for appropriating an additional $100,000 that hopefully will garner, at least $500,000 to $750,000 of new investment, because these are dangerous or dilapidated structures. Was there any carryover applications from the prior period before we ran out of our normal appropriation?
I had about 3 applications that were already submitted before we ran out of funds, so those are in the queue for that round.
Good. And then we'll go back to our normal allocation rounds in January?
Yes, yep.
Those carryover applications, are they,
They're
do they
for-
qualify for the,
Yes, yep, they're dilapidated structures. I have a few that were submitted, that don't qualify, but they'll be on the January meeting, and they're all aware of that.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Under mayor's comments, not a whole lot to add other than that we had a very successful event weekend, and I want to thank the City of Madison Street Department and all of our staff who contributed hours and hours of work over several months to bring this event together with the Madison Area Chamber of Commerce and all of the vendors and volunteers that were involved in it. And that's really about it. We're working through, as you saw earlier, the SOP, finalizing the SOPs with Madison Fire Department. And then we're also out to RFP on finalizing that with the stormwater and then working on a flood mitigation plan. So there's a lot of public safety related areas of our community that are being addressed that will require, lots of investment in time and financial resources to bring about a more safer environment. And then on the community crossing grant, work is already underway on the Hilltop Blackmore, and they'll be moving, once they finish the Hilltop streets, they'll be moving downtown for improvement of the roads on West Street, Mulberry Street, Second Street, but a lot of improvements happening, and also we're underway of the second phase of the super overlook. So drive around town, you'll see lots of investment. I will say that as well, we'll be having a ribbon cutting for the opening of all the shops at Sunrise on October the 30th. And then we're anticipating having a groundbreaking for the downtown neighborhood market, DG Market, with our developer there by the end of the month as well. So look through there. We won't have another meeting before that happens, but we'll be publicizing that through the different channels, outreach the city has.
Any updates on Hanging Rock Hill?
Update on Hanging Rock Hill. Word from our meeting with NDOT week before last was they had anticipated getting it open by last weekend. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, weather related, but also contractor resources related. Believe they're down to striping, and as soon as this striping contractor comes in, hopefully sometime this week, they'll give us the word on it. It's reopening, and then the culvert repair on Highway 7 is supposed to be completed by the end of this week. All of that is subject to NDOT's coordination with those contractors and weather, since those are state highway projects, but they do keep us well informed. It's just, working through, all of the different issues with contractors and weather right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, has the city, maybe I missed it, has the city set a Halloween trick-or-treat date?
Yes, Keely, might address that.
Yeah, the trick or treat's just with the state, regular hours, so it'll be Tuesday the 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. So just like regular. But then we also have our Halloween festival that Tanya's also orchestrating on the 28th. So that's
At Bicentennial
at
Park.
Bicentennial Park, yeah.
That's on Saturday, correct? Is it-
Yes, yeah, and it'll be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because there's also a walk along Lamplighter Park down there on the riverfront that has all of our beautiful lights back on it again
Right.
from
Yes,
Dave.
which our street department made in-house, so those are all really special. So it's
Yeah.
really cool, but they're lit every evening, so yeah, that's also there. Yeah.
Thank you.
This lady.
Board, any other comments? We'll go to public comments. Open it up to the floor. If there's anybody here who'd like to speak to the Board of Public Works, please come up. And of course, we know you, but identify yourself and for the record.
Thank you. I'm Carol Ann Rogers. We live at 934 West Main Street. I'm here to address a traffic safety issue as we see it. As you know, because you're local, Third Street is one way from Cragmont all the way to 421, and I drive that street very often. And when you get down to West Street and or Mulberry Street, there are no markings there, even though it's been one way the whole way. If someone wants to turn left onto West Street and they're from out of town, they probably are going to be in the right lane. And more than once, I have almost been hit by a car who wants to turn left out of the right lane. Up at 421, you already have markings on the street for a left turn onto 421 or a straightaway and a right turn onto 421. I would ask that you would consider putting those same markings at West Street and 3rd, and also at Mulberry and 3rd, because I consider it a dangerous intersection. A lot of people, I in particular, go down 3rd Street and turn on West so I can go up Cragmont, not Cragmont.
Michigan Hill?
Yeah, that one. Sorry. And more than once, a guy has turned left from the right side. So if you give me the paint and the brush, I'll do it. It seems like I'm happy to do that, but I would like for you to consider making that something you can do.
Yes, striping on our roads is something that's lacking, because normally it gets done when we're doing a road project. But since we're doing some parts of Mulberry and definitely west, then now would be a good time to throw those in there. And my deputy mayor here, who works on our streets, and our acting street superintendent's back there, we'll definitely take that into consideration, Caroline. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I've also encountered that situation on both intersections, so I can relate to
Yeah,
what you're talking about. so.
usually it's someone that doesn't realize they've gone from a one-way and they're still on a one-way. They think, oh, because it widened, now it must be a two-way,
Yeah.
and it isn't. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Caroline. Any other comments? Yes, sir.
My name is Mike Peak. I just want to remind the board that next week, starting October 23rd, we'll be picking up some leaves on the hilltop in downtown, weather permitting and staff permitting. I don't know if it's been out in public yet. I think it has been, supposed to be, but we'll be doing the same as always. We'll start from the hilltop, either go east, go west. Downtown the same way, we either go west to east or east to west, but we eventually get down every street. I just want to give you guys a heads up that it'll be starting next week, staff permitting. Also, the stop bars are down at Miles Ridge,
Oh, fantastic.
so hopefully people will abide by the rules and stop. Not the California stop, but actually stop. But they are completed. I was notified today.
Appreciate that. Thank
Will
you.
Will you have some help from the DLC? group?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank goodness we have the DLC.
they did a good job.
Yes.
Yeah, the resources they provide us and keeping our community clean is
Yes.
enormous.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Mike, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you also for letting us know that stop bars were installed in Miles Ridge, because that's been another, safety endeavor we've undertaken to help, I guess, make those intersections more visible, so that, people driving through there and the residents living there will stop at stop signs. We'll see. Hopefully that will work. And it looks like Chief Wallace, America's Chief John I. Wallace, wants to make a comment on that.
Our city attorney would be very disappointed if I went 2 meetings in a row without saying something, so I just wanted to come up and say. I just wanted to brief the board. This time next week, we'll have our very first ever explosive dog with the Madison Police Department. Officer Sweet is in his, I think, 5th or 6th week of training in bottleneck kennels in Ohio. This dog was funded by FEMA, Homeland Security grant that we applied for, probably a year and a half ago. So it would be an explosives canine, and also is a tracking canine. It's my understanding it's doing very well. Not only for you think explosives are mostly just obviously bombs, but it also can, if somebody discards a gun out into a field or whatever we're looking for, it can also pick up on the odor of gunpowder from the weapon. So we're excited to add this to our repertoire of canines, and it'll be available for obviously us here in the city and surrounding areas. So just wanted to bring you up to date.
Great to hear. Thanks for making that investment and Officer Sweden in the time of, becoming a trainer for
Sure,
that dog.
Yeah, we'll have it available, sir.
Chief, I believe there was also a new traffic safety initiative that may be launched today?
Yes, with the, Operation Pullover.
Yes.
Yep, we did get that was started today, so that's another, state grant that we received. Basically, they're going out, obviously, for impaired drivers, but dangerous drivers and seatbelt issues as well. So he's out and about right now, so when you leave this meeting, make sure you put your seatbelt on. But, yeah, it's,
Drive
makes,
safely. Please, and for the community, please slow down.
Yes.
I mean, please slow down.
and that's one thing I know he's targeting and has been this morning, down on West Main, is some speeding issues as people exit and enter town. So, that program will be running for several weeks and hopefully it makes an impact and a difference.
You're a safe driver, you won't be affected. So.
Won't bother you a bit. And I also would like to comment on some of my coworkers, Keely and Hannah, and our street department, Michael, for the outstanding job they did with Main Street for this past weekend and what they continue to do. It's when I'm out and about, that's the main thing that's brought to my attention, other than a couple of speeding issues, is how well that Main Street looks and how much I think our citizens appreciate the efforts you guys put in. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Have a good day.
Yeah, our next meeting is November the 6th, so all of the Halloween celebrations will have occurred by the time we come back together again on November the 6th, but lots always happening across our community on the investment side as well as on the festivity side, so please partake.
A lot of comments from my older friends about the senior citizen facility and the upgrades on it, and all positive. Really appreciate the work done on that.
It's a beautiful facility. We had the ribbon cutting for it a couple of weeks ago, and I believe the senior dance was there Friday night and was able to accommodate both the social aspects of it, but the very vigorous line dancing that occurs at the senior dances with the live music and the bands there. Joe, you're welcome to come anytime. We'll teach you how to do the cab driver. Yes, the cab driver. Yes.
I just run stoplights or what?
They know how to dance, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Anything else for the good of the cause? Any other public comments? Again, our meeting's November the 6th.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that motion?
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for being